Answer. Because you are that, you are capable. You are gifted, and you are so unique. All of the things that you may hate about yourself are your strengths. It's okay to be soft. It's okay to be opinionated. It's okay to be different. And it's so okay to just love you. The world awaits to receive you.
We are taking a closer look tonight at the letter attorneys for Shanquilla Robinson's family just sent to the White House, demanding more action over her death in Cabo San Lucas in late October. You remember that she traveled with a group who then returned to the States, and they said that she died from alcohol poisoning, while the medical examiner's office says that she died from a broken neck. So this letter names the person attorneys say is a suspect, and she is another woman from this group. The letter says the woman is a suspect in what's called a femicide. So the Wilson Center says femicide is a specialized murder term in Mexico. It applies when the victim is female and there are other circumstances in her death showing she's targeted because she is a woman. It does include sexual violence, if the victim and the suspect had an emotional, physical, or otherwise trusting relationship, and if the victim's body was publicly exposed or exhibited. And there are other circumstances that could be involved with this. We don't exactly know which of these circumstances or how many authorities believe related specifically to Robinson's case, but we do know that video circulated after her death shows her naked and being attacked in a villa, and we also know she was supposed to be traveling with friends when she died. Now, this letter asks the president and also the Secretary of State to intervene somehow. They want to get Robinson's case resolved quickly, and the letter cites a couple of options, including extraditing the suspect to Mexico or requesting what's called concurrent jurisdiction with Mexican agencies. So that way, U.S. prosecutors would be able to bring the case into the United States.
You may have watched or heard of a video in which Shanquilla Robinson was being assaulted by one of her friends. Now that friend has been identified as Dejanay Jackson, whereas the other friends that were in Mexico with Shanquilla have decided to keep quiet about the matter. Jackson posted on social media and said that she will be selling her interview to the Shade Room to give her side of the story and to stop social media users from coming at her with threats. Now she wrote and said that, "We went to Cabos to have a good time and I lost myself." She wrote again, "Here is the thing. You're all coming for me and do not know what happened. The reason why I'm putting my cash up down is because people want to scoop on what happened. It's because people want the scoop on what happened, and I'm not going to just offer that information up. I am not what they say I am." She posted again, "You all are sick individuals. You all do not know the whole story, and I will not explain myself to the people that keep making this a joke." She posted again, "Instagram account deleted at 22k followers. Those other pages are not me. I am innocent and I will be getting my truth out. I am only doing paid interviews. If you're not serious about hearing what happened and are going to bash, do not ask me." Now she went on and pinned her other friend named Naz Did It, saying that he was also in the room when everything happened, even though he went live claiming that he was not there. She has now deleted her IG and deactivated her other social media platforms. Social media users have stormed all these friends' socials and threatened them, but what has caught my attention is Naz Did It's now deleted response to some of the threats. On one of his Facebook posts made days ago, where he was mourning the loss of his loved ones, a number of social media users commented saying that karma is awaiting him, and his response was, "I know, people, I know." So many are taking that as a confirmation that he's admitting that he knows something or that he is guilty, but we cannot conclude.
It has been more than, speaking of horrific, more than 3 months since the passing of Shanquilla Robinson in Mexico, and her family is still demanding justice. Now, just over the weekend, activists from Million Youth March of Charlotte and Robinson's family marched from Little Rock AME Zion Church to the local post office to send 1,000 letters in pink to Mexican officials. The family says the hope is that sending the letters will ignite someone there to push a bit harder in bringing Shanquilla and her family justice. We know that spiritually speaking, the color pink stands for love and leans into healing. And then it's just a bright, vibrant color. So, you know, as that mail is sent through, you know, U.S. on to Mexico, you know, the hope is that it'll catch the attention of the Mexican officials who have kind of gone silent a little bit. When you try to do a little research on the case, you really are not hearing too much more than what we heard back when they say they were going to go about trying to prosecute these folks. And I know there's two different countries and two different laws and ways of going about doing things, but I'm with the family on this push. Like, let's get something done. It's been some time now.
Yeah, and I appreciate just the grassroots activists on the ground that are making her Black Lives Matter by engaging in this effort to keep her memory alive, but more importantly, to keep her name in the headlines, to keep her spirit alive, and to keep the focus on authorities that have been dragging their feet, it seems, in finding the folks who did this and holding them accountable.
Yeah, and maybe getting DC involved. Maybe that push would help as well.
Mexican authorities pursuing their case against an American suspected of killing an acquaintance at a luxury resort. They're looking to extradite the suspect to face charges. ABC's Zareen Shaw joins us with more, as that woman still hasn't been named. Zareen, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Janae. A 25-year-old went down to Mexico with some friends to celebrate someone's birthday. And just one day into that vacation, she turned up dead. And now officials have another big problem on their hands. Their prime suspect is no longer in the country. This morning, a potential legal limbo as Mexican prosecutors seek to extradite an acquaintance of Shanquilla Robinson, the North Carolina woman found dead while vacationing in Mexico. Authorities are not currently naming her, but say she is a direct aggressor against the 25-year-old after a video online, too violent to show, reveals Robinson assaulted in her hotel room. Mexican authorities issuing an arrest warrant for that acquaintance, now back in America, for the crime of femicide, the act of killing a woman based on her gender.
On the one hand, the U.S. government is going to take this seriously, and on the other hand, it's not obligated to turn her over.
On October 29th, local police reports state that a Baja Resort town guest told medical staff around 2 in the afternoon that Robinson had drunk a lot of alcohol, a doctor determining she was stable but dehydrated, adding Robinson's acquaintances refused to send her to the hospital. The police report stating the Charlotte native went into cardiac arrest, declared dead by 6 p.m. But an autopsy differing from that report, stating medical officials arrived before 3 p.m., quickly declaring Robinson dead from severe spinal cord injury and a dislocated neck. Robinson's family wants answers.
I'm just waiting on that day when someone can be arrested. That's all I'm waiting on.
As for those contradictions, Dan Abrams tells us that can happen when you have different officials looking into the same case, but that can be problematic for prosecutors. Janae?
Still so many unanswered questions, Zareen. Thank you. Mexican authorities.
Yes, she did have a fight that y'all are seeing that's going viral. They were fighting because Quilla did some crazy shit while she was drunk. So she basically told her to, let's fight. I don't want to drag you out of the bed. Quilla didn't want to, and that's how that happened. Unfortunately, she did die because of a video. Don't mean that happened. They're just trying to cover it up with a broken spine. and whatever else they're saying. You all like y'all. I was not fighting in the video, so the person that was fighting in the video is not up here, and she can only speak for herself. So until she gets up here, she can speak on her behalf.
The suspicious death of Shanquilla Robinson. It's been more than 4 months since she was found dead at a resort in Mexico. Now her family is calling for the U.S. government to step in. Our senior national correspondent Steve Osunsami is back with the latest on that. Good morning again, Steve.
Good morning to you, Robin. Mexican authorities say they have a suspect in this case, but that suspect lives here in the U.S. The victim's family wants American authorities to hand this person over to Mexico.
The family of Shanquilla Robinson this morning says they will not give up and are calling on the U.S. government to help Mexican investigators.
It is clear Mexico has advised that their investigation is complete. They have identified a suspect. That suspect is currently out free in the United States of America.
They want a diplomatic intervention for the State Department to either take over the murder investigation entirely or to extradite their daughter's alleged killer to Mexico.
I just want someone to be arrested and charged.
It was 4 months ago when the 25-year-old from Charlotte, North Carolina, was found unresponsive at a villa in Cabo San Lucas. Less than 24 hours earlier, she and a group of friends had just landed for what was supposed to be a luxury vacation. Mexican authorities have now issued an arrest warrant for a suspect who has not been identified stateside, but who they say is seen and heard in the violent video showing how Robinson was attacked. That is too graphic to show entirely. The people she was traveling with allegedly told the family that she died of alcohol poisoning, but the autopsy obtained by ABC News showed that she died from fatal trauma to her neck and spine.
Someone should have been locked up a long time ago.
In response, the State Department tells ABC News that it has no higher priority than the safety and security of U.S. citizens overseas, and that they're closely monitoring local authorities' investigation.
The U.S. does not typically extradite U.S. citizens. It is something that they don't like to do. And obviously, with diplomatic relations with another country, they have to be very careful about how they articulate that and why.
Robinson's mother says she wants authorities in both countries to remember that this young world traveler, hairstylist, and businesswoman was someone's daughter.
She really leaves a impact on people. She loved to travel, she loved the kids, and she loved her family. You know, she just was a good person.
The FBI is also looking into this case. Mexican authorities are calling this a femicide, a gender-based killing, and they say that the person who they're looking to question was a friend of the victims who they say was a direct aggressor. Guys,
I'm so glad that we're staying on top of this story, Steve. Thank you.
Yeah, me too. Thank you for that.
Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Lots of great stuff here. So go on, click the subscribe button right over here to get more of awesome videos and content from GMA every day, anytime. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the morning on GMA.
Federal prosecutors say there is not enough evidence to pursue charges related to the death of American Shanquilla Robinson, who died in Mexico last year. The 25-year-old from Charlotte, North Carolina, died on October 29th. Her death certificate listed the cause of death as a spinal and neck injury. A video posted online after her passing showed Robinson in a violent altercation with another woman. We're joined now by Salamandra Robinson, the mother of Shanquilla Robinson. Salamandra, first of all, we're so sorry for your loss. What does it mean for your family to hear that federal charges will not be pursued?
We was very disappointed.
I'm sure. Were you surprised?
No, but I was disappointed because the simple fact is that they had enough evidence due to the video that was online, and they said it wasn't enough evidence, but I don't believe. And then they said that they don't know what was the cause of her death, but the cause of her death was due to the fight, from what we could see. And she said she didn't have a broken neck, and she also died from the swelling on the brain, but she also was beaten. So you can give me a, I feel that someone should have been arrested due to that, but they trying to say that it didn't. So I might have to have her body exhumed because we need another autopsy. Wow, and I'm sure all of this being said by a mom, these are just unimaginable things to be discussing about your daughter. Where does your fight for justice go at this point? We're gonna keep going. We will be in Washington on May the 19th. And your lawyer has criticized the lack of urgency from U.S. authorities in this case. What do you feel should have been done differently? I feel that they should have took this case and took it serious when it first happened. They didn't step up to the plate and do what they needed to do from the very beginning. They said it was out of their hands, but it looked like to me they didn't try to do anything, and they really failed my family, as being the FBI and the government here. We has really been failed, because my daughter didn't deserve to die like that, and brother was in Mexico or wherever it was, and they need to make a law to let people know that you can't go out of town and do nothing to someone and come back and think that you's okay with it. There was a video, everybody's seen the video. So there should have been some charges should have been made. And I'm talking about here in the United States. We're focusing on the legal process and moving forward. But just for a moment before we go, can you describe what this has been like to go through as a family? It's been a nightmare. The whole 5 months ain't been nothing but a nightmare to me. All right, Salamanda Robinson, thanks so much for joining us. We appreciate it.
Members of Shanquilla Robinson and national civil rights activists marched on Washington today. They're demanding U.S. diplomats intervene in the death investigation of the 25-year-old woman from Charlotte. She was killed while vacationing in Cabo, Mexico. Queen City News reporter Savannah Rudisell explains how they hope now to find answers.
Justice for Shanquilla Robinson. Justice for Shanquilla Robinson.
The death of my beautiful sister has been the hardest thing that I've ever had to deal with in my life.
It's been 126 days since Shanquilla Robinson died. Mexican authorities say they have an unnamed suspect, but they haven't made any arrests. Lawyers say they need the U.S. federal officials to fast-track the investigation because they've already done as much of the groundwork as they can.
Going to those places, going to the office of the doctor that attended to her, going to the actual villa and the places where she walked, where she spent her last moments, trying to find answers for this family was absolutely unreal. Nobody should have to do that.
Attorneys plan to meet with Justice Department officials to present their evidence, including a video of Robinson being attacked in a hotel room.
What we see is very clear. She was beaten to death. And there are 6 people who were there who know the answers, and they need to be present somewhere where they are being asked and demanded of the truth.
Amen.
The people who knew what happened to my daughter are living their lives. They have returned to work, and my family is left to wait.
Family members say they feel like they've been handed off from one country's officials to another, back and forth, just delaying the investigation.
The ball is clearly in the United States court.
The President of the United States and all of those individuals around you, including our sister Kamala Harris, I would ask that you step up as well, my sister, and give us some justice for Shanquilla Robinson. We drove here from Charlotte, and we'll drive again tomorrow, and we're coming back next week.
Savannah Rudisell, Queen City News.
It's been 3 months since the passing of Shanquilla Robinson, and her family has received little to no answers from the agencies that say that they're investigating the circumstances surrounding the trip that she took with her so-called friends to Mexico that led to her violent ending. Recently, WBTV out of Charlotte spoke with one of Shanquilla's actual friends, and this is what she had to say.
She lived. She lived. She was just full of energy, just full of love.
This video made public for the first time. Robinson and Mitchell doing what they loved at West Charlotte High School. Talk about you and Shanquilla's relationship. When did y'all first meet?
So we first met our freshman year at West Charlotte. We started in the IB program. And we instantly connected through our love in fashion. We love to dress up. We put our finest on every day. A memory that just sticks out, I don't know why, but it was her birthday. And I got her something as simple as a hot chocolate from Dunkin' Donuts. And you would think I would have brought her the most extravagant gift ever. She was just so happy. She recorded on her Snapchat. Like, it was a real moment for her. I just couldn't believe someone would be capable of doing something like this, and not only to her, like, it was just crazy because I was actually, you know, watching her story, like seeing that she's enjoying her time. So it's just like, how did it just go left? She was so young. She had so much more life to live. Like, we were planning to work. She was just so full of life. She loved experiences, living big, just enjoying and making the most of it. And I feel like that's a lesson that could be valuable to all of us. It's just to enjoy our lives and just really live.
Pertaining to the ongoing investigation, they reported the following.
In a recent news conference, Mexican prosecutor Daniel de la Rosa Anaya reiterated a request has been made for extradition for the, quote, direct aggressor. He also says they did ask U.S. authorities to interview those on the trip. As far as the FBI's independent investigation, in a statement, the agency says, quote, the FBI investigation into the death of Shanquilla Robinson is ongoing. We know this is a difficult time for her family and the community. The FBI is working with the Department of Justice to conduct a thorough and exhaustive investigation.
I were to get to the villa because there was traffic. I don't know why. So I got to the villa around 3:26. I instantly, as soon as I go in there, I go to Quilla. Quilla didn't leave my side, none of that, till the nurse came. But I got too far ahead. So Quilla was laying on the couch in the game room. The fucking villa was like a big ass mansion, no upstairs, all tile on the wall, tile on the floor, straight tile, nothing else. So it just a big ass villa. I don't know if y'all can view it on the website. Go to Cabo Villas and look at how big this shit is and what it looked like. Well, you're gonna see. So when I got there, she was in the game room. They told me she was not feeling good. So I instantly go to her, put on her side, get a bag and all that. So I'm sitting right next to her the whole time. I was crossing my heart and hope that I was there the whole time in the game room.
Yes, she did have a fight that y'all see, and that's going viral. They were fighting because Quilla did some crazy shit while she was drunk. So she basically told her to, let's fight. I don't want to drag you out of the bed. Quilla didn't want to, and that's how that happened. Unfortunately, she did die because of a video. Don't mean that happened. They're just trying to cover it up with a broken spine and whatever else they're saying. You all like y'all. I was not fighting in the video. So the person that was fighting in the video is not up here, and she can only speak for herself. So until she gets up here, she can speak on her behalf.
And there are countless unsolved cases across the Carolinas with families and investigators left searching for answers. Tonight, we take you back 1 year when a Charlotte entrepreneur traveled to Mexico but didn't come back alive.
What happened to Shanquilla Robinson? It's a question that haunts her family. Eyewitness News reporter Joe Bruno has been at the forefront of the investigation and takes a look back at her mysterious death and what's next.
She was her own boss, you know. She was her own boss.
The words boss lady are displayed prominently above Shanquilla Robinson's final resting place. Her father, Bernard, is still not resting in his search for answers about his daughter's mysterious death.
Your daddy miss you so much every day. It was a struggle for me to get up and move, but God give me the strength, and everyone prayers around this world, around this nation. That's how I'm moving. And I know you're looking down on me.
It was 1 year ago, Shanquilla traveled to Cabo, Mexico with a group of people she considered friends. She never returned home. Family says they were told the 25-year-old died of alcohol poisoning, but an autopsy from Mexico said she died of a broken neck and spinal cord. A video also surfaced of her being attacked by another woman on the trip.
Justice for Shanquilla Robinson.
Her death and the mystery surrounding it became a rallying cry as the FBI opened an investigation. But in April, federal investigators opted to not bring criminal charges, saying the evidence does not support a federal prosecution. How can there be so many discrepancies?
Right. Yeah.
We obtained the autopsy conducted by the Mecklenburg County Medical Examiner's Office about 3 weeks after Robinson died. It differs from the autopsy in Mexico, which claims Shanquilla died of severe neck and spinal cord injuries. In Mecklenburg County's autopsy, the cause of death is undetermined. The autopsy lays out Shanquilla's last day, hour by hour, on October 29th. It says at 7 or 7:30 a.m. local time is when she was seen here in this video being attacked. After the incident, she went back to her room. No one reportedly heard from her until just before noon, when the housekeeper found her lying down on the bathroom floor. It wouldn't be until 2:15 p.m. that the people she was on the trip with called for medical care, claiming she consumed too much alcohol. The report says the doctor arrived at 3:15, finding her minimally responsive and dehydrated. As the doctor tried to place an IV, the autopsy said she went into convulsive crisis before going into complete cardiopulmonary arrest at 4:49. At 5:57, after multiple rounds of resuscitation, she was pronounced deceased.
Their Mexican authorities literally have advised that this is a priority for them, that this case is a priority. However, it takes two to tango. And
the attorney overseeing Shanquilla's case is Sue Ann Robinson, who isn't related. She says there is still an active arrest warrant in Mexico related to the attack that was captured on camera. Her focus is getting the State Department to comply with the extradition request. She also says her office is exploring a civil suit against the people who traveled with Shanquilla.
It is absolutely a marathon and not a sprint.
At his daughter's gravesite, Bernard Robinson says the days are long and difficult.
I have my moments. I really have my moments. I never in my wildest dream thought that something like this would happen to you.
But he is vowing to press on and continue to fight.
God fight our battles, and I'm going to put it all in his hand. But as this father's standing right here in front of my daughter's grave, justice will be served. Justice will be served.
Joe Bruno, Channel 9 Eyewitness News.
Contrary to the Mexican death report, the local autopsy found no evidence of any neck or spinal cord injuries. It did find a hematoma on the forehead consistent with blunt force trauma. The local autopsy also says tests for alcohol were performed in Mexico and found to be negative. But it also noted that there was enough time for alcohol to metabolize in her body. Of course, we will continue to follow this investigation into the death of Shanquilla Robinson and bring you any updates on our free WSOC app.
I were to get to the villa because there was traffic. I don't know why. So I got to the villa around 3:26. I instantly, as soon as I go in there, I go to Quilla. Quilla didn't leave my side, none of that, till the nurse came. But I got too far ahead. So Quilla was laying on the couch in the game room. The fucking villa was like a big ass mansion, no upstairs, all tile on the wall, tile on the floor, straight tile, nothing else. So it just a big ass villa. I don't know if y'all can view it on the website. Go to Cabo Villas and look at how big this is and what it looked like. Well, you're gonna see. So when I got there, she was in the game room. They told me she was not feeling good. So I instantly go to her, put on her side, get a bag and all that. So I'm sitting right next to her the whole time. I was crossing my heart. I hope that I was there the whole time in the game room.
It is.
Answer. Because you are that, you are capable. You are gifted and you are so unique. All of the things that you may hate about yourself are your strengths. It's okay to be soft. It's It's okay to be opinionated. It's okay to be different. And it's so okay to just be. The world awaits to receive you.
The real estate market often seems like a distant world where only an elite of experts is successful. In a time of so much uncertainty in the air and bad news, realist investing can seem intimidating. But today, I want to tell you that if you make the right decision today, you can enter the real estate market from the back door. Bad credit record? No credit at all. Do you dread the idea of having a home loan? Do you dream of owning investment properties? You are in the right place and right time because we have created a program which is a tax lien and deed investment online course of only 14 hours. This course is specially designed for people like you who have big dreams. You will learn at your own pace and everything from your home computer. This is your chance. Join our membership for $19.99 a year. What are you waiting for? Visit our website primetimehomebuyerBuyback.org and sign up today for course access.